When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. It is not the years in your life, but the life in your years that counts. With age comes the wisdom to truly know yourself and your purpose. The mark of an educated mind is to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. Learning never exhausts the mind. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Knowledge of the facts differs from knowledge of the reason for the facts. I have gained this by philosophy. I do without being ordered what others do only from fear of the law. Leisure is the mother of philosophy. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. The greatest power is the power to control oneself. We do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experience. Study the past if you would define the future. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. When anger rises, think of the consequences. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. Happiness is a quality of the soul, not a function of one's material circumstances. Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, but all are necessary for the full story. Learning is an ornament in prosperity, a refuge in adversity, and a provision in old age. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Man is a goal-seeking animal. His life only has meaning if he is reaching out and striving for his goals. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly. In your twilight years, act with purpose rather than seeking reward or recognition. Time crumbles things. Everything grows old under the power of time and is forgotten through the lapse of time. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. The fastest way to move time is to do nothing. The slowest way is to do what you love. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. The greatest miracle of life is not that we fall, but that we rise again. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. To be content with what we possess is the greatest and most secure of riches. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Happiness is not something postponed for the future. It is something you design for the present. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. My best friend is the man who is wishing me well for my sake. Never contract friendship with a man that is not better than thyself. True friends are revealed most clearly in times of adversity. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. When you see a good person, think of becoming like them. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. In all things, treat others as you would want them to treat you. Those who cannot forgive others break the bridge over which they themselves must pass. When anger rises, think of the consequences. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. Hatred is a curse that does not affect the hated. It only poisons the hater. Accept what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Honor your aging body as a sacred vessel that carries decades of wisdom. Bodily exercise, when compulsory, does no harm to the body, but knowledge, which is acquired under compulsion, obtains no hold on the mind. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. No disease that can be treated by diet should be treated with any other means. Old age, like everything else, to be a great thing, must be a work of art. The old phoenix never thinks of ashes, but of flame. Age shows all elements of quality: voice, eyes, breath, gait, attitude, especially the life story. If age has weakened the memory, it has not yet touched all the faculties of the mind. Not all the aged are wise. Not all the young are thoughtless. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. I didn't have time to write a short letter, so I wrote a long one instead. Perfection is achieved, not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. The nature of beauty is not abundance but simplicity. As life's journey lengthens, discover the freedom that comes from owning less. When drinking water, remember the spring. It is not happy people who are thankful. It is thankful people who are happy. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. The most beautiful gift of aging is learning to appreciate what remains, not lament what changes. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. The poor man is not he who has little, but he who craves much. Humanity has 3 duties: plant a tree, write a book, raise a child. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Old age comes not alone. It brings wisdom with it. The best thing to leave behind is the imprint of a life well lived. In your golden years, nourish not just your body, but your spirit and relationships. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. We cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. When you can't change the direction of the wind, adjust your sails. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow, it empties today of its strength. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. In a storm, we know the true strength of the oak. A brave man is not one who does not feel afraid, but one who conquers that fear. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Courage is the first virtue that makes all other virtues possible. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than he who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. The moral act is in doing one's duty. The golden rule of ethics is, treat others as you wish to be treated. There is always light at the end of the tunnel, even in the darkest night. For the wise elder, hope is not wishful thinking, but the culmination of experience. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Faith is the bird that feels the light when the dawn is still dark. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back. To fear death is only another form of thinking that one is wise when one is not. A good life is the best preparation for a good death. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Live each day as if it were your last, for one day you're sure to be right. Tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the preservation of fire. I have invented nothing. I have only reported what I learned from the ancients. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. The impediment to action advances action, What stands in the way becomes the way. Life is a journey of discovery, and the wise person learns something new each day. The heart may grow old with years, but the soul can remain forever young. In the darkness of difficulty, the light of hope shines brightest. Happiness is not a destination, but a way of traveling. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. Your perception becomes your reality, so choose to see the beauty in all things. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. The journey of self-discovery never ends. Each day reveals a new chapter. Wisdom speaks softly, but carries profound truth. What we think, we become. Guard your thoughts with care. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to maintain a good attitude while waiting. The art of living well is to know when enough is enough. Let your actions speak so loudly that others cannot hear what you say. The gap between knowing and doing is often wider than the gap between ignorance and knowledge. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Every sunset gives us one day less to live, but every sunrise gives us one day more to hope. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change when conditions change. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. You cannot change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The obstacle is the path. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Silence is sometimes the best answer. Experience is not what happens to you. It is what you do with what happens to you. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. To understand the heart and mind of a person, look not at what he has already achieved, but at what he aspires to. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. The best revenge is massive success. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Change your thoughts and you change your world. The mind is everything. What you think you become. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. It always seems impossible until it's done. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. There is nothing permanent except change. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Happiness depends upon ourselves. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. Life is never fair, and perhaps it is a good thing for most of us that it is not. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. In this life, we cannot do great things. We can only do small things with great love. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. The real opportunity for success lies within the person and not in the job. A little progress each day adds up to big results. Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person. Knowledge is knowing. A tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. Always do your best. What you plant now, you will harvest later. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everyone else. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. In order to write about life, first you must live it. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last, you create what you will. A room without books is like a body without a soul. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Curiosity about life in all of its aspects, I think, is still the secret of great creative people. The unexamined life is not worth living. We hope you like, share, and subscribe to support more timeless philosophy for seniors.